Haccp is stands for Hazard Analysis Critical Control Point. Haccp is an internationally recognized system for reducing the risk of safety hazard in food. Haccp system require that potential hazards are identified and controlled at specific points in the process. This include biological, chemical, or physical hazard. Any company involved in the manufacturing processes or handling of food products can use Haccp to minimize or eliminate food safety hazards in their product.
7 Principles of Haccp. The first principle is to conduct a hazard analysis. A hazard analysis is conducted to identify and also prevent any hazards, whether it's biological, chemical, or physical. The second principle is determines the CCP, critical control point. It is to identify the critical control points, and the hazard must be found and managed in this process. The third one is establish critical limits, is including both maximum and also minimum. The next one is establish monitoring procedures. It's to ensure all CCPs are noted and watch for any changes. The next one is establish corrective action. It's used immediately to avoid any injury to human from the hazards. So the next one is establish verification procedures, is to determine whether the Haccp is working correctly or not. The last one is establish record keeping and documentation procedures. It is to ensure that the business can verify the controls are being properly maintained.
Hi, I am Fatin Afika binti Khalid, and I will talk about the importance of Haccp. Okay, the first one, it can prioritize and control potential hazards in food production. Next, it can control major food risks such as microbiological, chemical, and physical contaminants. Not only that, Haccp also can provide the framework to produce food safely and to prove they were produced safely. Besides, Haccp also can use to focus on prevention and control of potential food safety hazards rather than inspection. It can provide business with a cost-effective system for control of food safety, which is from ingredient right through to production, storage, and distribution to sale and service of the final consumer. Various customers in the food chain also require their suppliers to have certified Haccp system. And last but not least, it can cover all types of food potential safety hazards, whether they are naturally occurring in the food, contributed by the environment, or generated by a mistake in the manufacturing process.
Steps to Haccp implementations. Step 1. Assemble a Haccp team with the appropriate product-specific knowledge and expertise to develop an effective food safety plan. Step 2. Describe the product in full detail. Step 3. Identify the intended or expected use of the product by the end user. Step 4. Construct a flow diagram that provides an accurate representation of each step in the manufacturing process. Step 5. Perform an outside confirmation of the flow diagram to confirm that it is aligned with actual operations. Step 6. Conduct a hazard analysis for each product step to identify any biological, chemical, or physical hazard. Step 7. Determine critical control points. Those areas where previously identified hazard may be eliminated. Step 8. Establish critical limits and develop processes that limit risk at CCP. More than one critical limit may be defined for a single step. Step 9. Monitor CCP and develop processes for ensuring that critical limits are followed. Step 10. Establish pre-planned corrective action to be taken for each CCP in the HACCP plan that can then be applied when the CCP is not under control. Step 11. Establish procedures for verification to determine whether the HACCP system is working correctly. Step 12. Establish proper documentation and record keeping for all HACCP processes to ensure that the business can verify that controls are in place.